This is our copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Yes, the shop is open. Let's go live. Yo, what's up? Amanda, I see you're in here early. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. John P, how it be? Sharon, hello to you. What's going on, y'all? It's Wednesday. Yes, we are at the shop. The shop is open. Studio's open. I got some backup for now. I got bro with me hanging out for a little bit so we could get this stream on the flow going pretty smoothly, hopefully. And we're going to get into a few things. We're going to hang out for a little bit. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully everyone's getting their notifications right now. Yeah, come on by. Hang out for a bit. Stop by. Say what's up. How's everyone doing out there? Hopefully you're feeling well. It's a nice sunny day here in Southern California. Things are heating up out here. They're switching gears on us with the weather. Yeah, it's been was it last week or so? We were getting a bunch of rain, which is always needed here. And today, actually starting yesterday, things were starting to cook. Today is a 79 in Boyle Heights here. East LA, Boyle Heights, Los Angeles, SoCal. Where you at? What's your temps like? We heard about that blizzard out east. Hopefully everyone's keeping warm and safe out there. Grande abraço, amigo. Para você também. Abraço grande. Grande abraço. How do you say it? You can say either or, I'm sure. Yeah, big hugs, John P. Brother John P in Portugal. Yeah, what's the weather like out there? The Sierras, 48. Brr. Death Valley up at 80. Yeah, it should be up there. Mendocino, 62. Garberville, 63. Trinidad, 54. San Fran, 63. Weaverville at 62. Wow. Let's see. Do we have any more? Chico, Amanda, 64. Arcata, beautiful Arcata, California, 56. Looks cloudy up there. Yep, cloudy there. Weaverville, partly cloudy. Willow Creek, mostly cloudy at 59. Jacksonville, Oregon, cloudy. Santa Clara, I don't know why you snuck in here again, Santa Clara. It's all good. We'll give you your temps out there. 68 in Santa Clara. And where's the studio? Here we go. Boom. All right. Chat's frozen. What's up, chat? Where's everybody at? Everyone at work? What's going on? Maybe they're watching somebody else. Is there a speed chase going on or something? Yesterday we had two, actually three. We did get the hat trick yesterday, but one of the speed chases was not broadcasted. So it still counts. We still got the hat trick, folks. Let me clear my throat. Yeah, keeping an eye on things. We're going to keep an eye out for any other speed chases today in the county. Yeah, we take them from Orange County as well. Anywhere in Cali, Fresno, but for some reason, Los Angeles reigns king in that field. Anyway, just taking a quick look at YouTube. Yeah, I guess it's just us three in the chat, y'all. Let's do this. Let's get right into these Bigfoot reports. There's several. Or should we do breaking news? All right, breaking news, whatever. Let's do this. What the hell happened today? I got a notification over on my Citizens app, and it said something about the FBI raiding the LAUSD building downtown. I think their main building. So I did a little Brave search right quick, try and get more details. It says federal agents execute search warrants Wednesday morning at both the Los Angeles Unified School District, LAUSD, headquarters in downtown Los Angeles, and the home of Superintendent Alberto Carvalho. Sounds Portuguese there, John P. What do you think? In San Pedro. The FBI confirmed the raids were based on court-authorized warrants, but the specific focus of the investigation remains undisclosed due to sealed affidavits. And I'll keep it at that. There's a little more to read there, so not much information. There goes a Citizens app. Yeah, keep an eye on these notifications. Anyone got Citizens app out there? Is this a worldwide app? Can you use it all over the place? Oh, nurses on strike. Watch out. Yeah, I've been dropping off my nephew over at Cal State LA, which is not far. It's convenient for both of us. It works out sometimes. Most of the time. Yeah, one time I went for a loop, took the wrong, forgot to take a turn, got on the freeway like I was coming to the shop and had to get detoured. Actually, I got to pay that ticket still. I was in like this special freeway bus lane forever. It took me downtown, had to whip back. Thank goodness there wasn't major traffic. It could have took a long time to get back. No traffic, so boom, I made it back on time. And but I gotta pay that ticket. This is a reminder to myself. What's up, Chiro Sounds? There you are. John aside. What up, homie? Cheers to you. Hopefully you're not driving. Hopefully you got a break. I know you're always working hard. And yeah, we're out here grinding too. Yes, the shop is open, folks. Chiro Sounds. Why don't you could promote your shop here too. You could go shop with Chiro Sounds as well. You know, don't you got some instruments, Chi, available? I got to come and do a little shopping with you. Another reminder for myself. I got my eye set on a particular shirt y'all have. It's a Midwest Night Watcher shirt. But it's this it's almost like a rusty orange color. It's long sleeve. Even though temperatures are changing, we just did the weather. Temperatures are changing out here. We could always switch back. There always might be a little rain, and you know, the mountains, we were showing the mountains getting snow, or they got snow. So I'm always ready to switch gears on the clothing as well. And yeah, I love that color. So I'm going to get it. Trust me. And then I was asking about your shoe size also. And Gerald Probably wondering, just wondering if y'all had big feet. What else we got? There's some other news. Let's see. Got some weird news, sad but kind of strange news this morning. And we'll keep you posted on that FBI situation there. You know, they don't come around for nothing. Yeah, anyone hear about this case? It just came across my radar this morning, this AM. Where are you? There you are.
Our active radar once again. So mild to moderate rain.
And we'll do a little reading here and check this out because it raised red flags for me. And first of all, is, you know, I have no details on what happened. All I got was a little bit of a news reel on YouTube, and it was describing this man from, I believe, yeah, Redding, California. We've talked about Redding. And I guess he had gone to the Super Bowl. I don't know if he attended the actual, if he was in the stadium, if he attended the actual event. But they were saying after the Super Bowl, I said Super Bowl. Is there a Super Bowl out there? Do the Vols play some sort of a big event? The Super Bowl. B-owl. Yeah, he was found deceased in a creek behind the stadium, behind Levi Stadium. And right away, a lot of these stadiums, I don't know much of the history of Levi Stadium. I do know that the Super Bowl, they had that massive ritual with the Bad Bunny. And so that was a whole trip down the rabbit hole there. And yes, we ran into dust bunnies. I've seen a lot of good breakdowns on YouTube of the ritual. And it was interesting because he is Boricua, Puerto Rican, Borinquen, Puerto Rico. He's from Puerto Rico. And we got ties to Puerto Rico. My family lived there for a while. My family actually all took a trip. I think it was maybe 2 years ago, a year ago. I went to Bluff Creek that time, so I missed the Puerto Rico trip. But it's, I think it's in my cards to go there one day and check it out as well. Mom always wanted to take me and the rest of us, but this time she took the rest of us. And Puerto Rico, well known for El Chupacabra. Coño. UFOs, El Yunque National Park. I believe there's, I don't know if it's still there, the biggest satellite in the world, or satellite dish. I don't know, maybe somewhere's got the record now, but I believe that was it, right? It held that title for a bit. I don't know. I think I know. Who else is in here? Let's see. There's Patrick Noble. What up, Noble? Salute to you. Cheers. Welcome on in. We're going to hang out for a bit, have a little stream at the shop as we got some Bigfoot reports that have been posted to the Bigfoot Mapping Project. And they're lit green, bro. I just lit the green also, so I'm ready to go. Feel free to light the green up in the chat. And yeah, so this raised red flags for me. We'll have a look at the guy. I mean, looks, and this is probably a picture, like we were talking about the red wearing bright colors and people have gone missing. I have been bringing up people that take pictures the day of when they go missing and stuff like that. And it says, I'm going to read the little something it says under the pictures there. It says his sister said Redding native Tommy Simpkins was found dead near Levi's stadium in Santa Clara 1 week after the Super Bowl was played there. So hold up, let's get this straight. Okay, Santa Clara, but where was the Super Bowl? I thought this wasn't the Super Bowl. Where is the Levi Stadium? So I don't know. Maybe the creek he was found in was in Santa Clara, because I don't think Santa Clara is near. I thought this happened in San Francisco, but who knows? Let's get a little reading here. Doesn't seem to be too long of an article, and there is a newsreel here also we could check out. Citizens app notification. I don't know if the mic picks that up, but it says a woman is seeking answers about the mysterious death of her brother, Tommy Simpkins, who was found dead a week after going missing on Super Bowl Sunday. His sister said Simpkins, who grew up in the Reading or grew up in Reading, some people will say like that, grew up in the Reading, was discovered dead in a creek behind Levi's Stadium on February 14th. And the reason why I was talking about red flags and stuff is, I mean, right away, what happened off the top of the head, also Super Bowl, you know, you think parties, drinks, food, good time, hopefully. And so I don't know. Let's see. Hopefully, this reveals some more details here. Brandy Stroud, Simpkins' sister, shared that he was last seen leaving a barbecue in San Jose on February 8th, the day of the Super Bowl. He was found dead in a creek behind Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara 1 week later, with his wallet and phone missing.
So that the next entry of Bidwell Mansion is.
And usually wallet, phone, those are two maybe of the most important things you keep on you these days. And with that going missing right away, that would probably raise flags to investigators and maybe most people that it may be some sort of
he was released from prison apparently just
foul play there, maybe robbery gone wrong or something. Who knows? One could only speculate. And it says Stroud tracked down the location where her brother was found through social media rather than law enforcement. Damn. That's not cool. She and her family had posted missing person flyers around the Bay Area and shared posts on social media to seek help. From all the posts, from all the sharing, a woman had gotten in contact with me, said Stroud. She must have had a police scanner because she sent me the audio. Very interesting. And she told me to call police. And from there, I was able to talk to the coroner and identify my brother by his big Simpkins tattoo on his back, Stroud said. Kelly Sam of Action News now confirmed with Stroud that it was a woman on social media who connected the dots between the body found near the stadium and her brother Stroud. Said that's correct instantly. Wow. Near Highway 162, just east of Gold Country Casino. Stroud expressed frustration with the lack of answers. There's a lot of questions that haven't been answered. I haven't been able to get a hold of a detective. We can't ever begin the healing because we can't get a hold of anybody to tell us what's going on, she said. And excuse me, I'll stumble here and there. Grateful for the community support, Strauss said. I thank everybody for their shares and their support and their love and their prayers, because without this, I don't think we would have found my brother. And that's one of the, I guess, the good things of social media. You know, it does come through like that sometimes to get the word out, and you hear of things like this happening. Yeah, the cause of Simpkins' death is under investigation. He had reportedly called an Uber, but it's unclear how he ended up at Levi's Stadium. Anyone with information is urged to contact the Santa Clara Police Department at 406-615-4700. And the family has also set up a GoFundMe to arrange for Simpkins to be brought back to Reading for burial next to his father and
There's our active
brother.
radar once again. So mild to moderate rain in most.
So I
of
don't
the
know.
area. You
It's
see some locations in the foothills of the Sierra.
I got to figure that out with the Santa Clara connection. So where is Levi Stadium?
Here on Oakville Avenue.
And then how did he get to Santa Clara from there? Because again, I don't think Santa Clara is Santa Clara. That's down here, no? There's Santa Clarita down here. All right, that's what I'm. Maybe that's what I'm getting. That's where the mix-up is. My bad. Yeah, there's a Santa Clara and there's Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita here in Southern California, and I believe Santa Clara is further up north. And I think we might have touched on I want to say some missing persons cases from there also. And for some reason, Geralt's not showing up in the chat. That's weird.
Several other parks are still under construction right now.
And it's probably YouTube, because I mean, honestly, we should have a lot more people up in the lives. It says there's 14 up in here. We have Chiro Sounds in the chat, but Geralt, her partner, which they're probably in the same household, cannot get on the chat. And then Blazer can't chat. He can't tap in the chat because it vanishes. What the hell, YouTube? YouTube to the office, please. Yeah, that's a bummer. And I wonder.
Registered sex offender. He was released.
Yeah, it was happening over on Andy Decode show. It did it in Andy's show as well, and I can't post to Twitter. So maybe some more glitches. We know last week there were several social media platforms that were having issues. So a heads up there, folks. That's a bummer. Maybe check out. We might be able to. Oh, I see Blazer now. All right, I see you in the chat now, bro. Yeah, maybe try refreshing. Freaky fresh. Try refreshing, hopping out, hopping back in. Maybe that'll help. But yeah, let's see if this newsreel says anything else on a heads up. This is Action News Now.
Here on Oakville Avenue near Highway 162, just east.
Yeah, hopefully Geralt could get up in here, because we need you up in here, Brother G. And speaking of Brother G, this morning over on the Cryptid Huntresses channel, they had a brother Prince Arcane, which was super cool to see him on there. Well, we didn't get to see him. He was anonymous, but he was on the show sharing his cryptid encounters, Bigfoot and dogman encounters in urban, in Georgia, in Atlanta, kind of like the outskirts of Atlanta. And so it was cool to listen to that. But in the beginning of the before Jessica went live and everything, I tapped in because I was about to get ready for the day, jump in the shower and everything. I checked in the chat and I seen Bobby Hemmett. Yes, the Bobby Hemmett. I had to confirm it. I noticed his the font on his name was in different. It's a different font than everybody else's, and it had the check mark. And I know. All right, been to Levi Stadium, says Tina C. Right on. And she sent the map there. Cool, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll pull that up on the phone, so that gives me an idea. So yeah, a lot of water around there. Yep. You got Santa Cruz nearby. Let's see. I see Cupertino, Palo Alto, Hayward. Yeah, Bay Area, Livermore, San Mateo, Daly City further down. Yep. That's where I imagined Levi Stadium. So, and I actually been to one basketball game out there in the Bay Area. And look, Tina C also not showing in the chat. Super bummer. So I don't know what's going on, folks. And for all you streamers and content creators, just a heads up, things might be glitchy, but I think it's been happening for a long time. I think even like the views, the thumbs up, I've seen the actual views on videos fluctuate. So I don't know if that's a thing that it needs to calibrate and it'll show you a higher number, and then all of a sudden it drops. The thumbs up happens also. Just a heads up. At this point, I'm just rolling with it. Analytics, you know, yeah, we care about them, but you can't worry about it. And that became an issue. Also, that was brought up by a YouTuber, Dancer. Yeah, Dancer, who made his way into the Bohemian Grove, and he had to remove those videos. I tried looking for them again. And this morning again, also I seen someone, it popped up in my feed. I don't know if they posted this morning, but I hear that there is new footage from the Bohemian Grove. Oh my goodness. During their ceremonies, I was the second person in the chat when you started. Tina C in second place, and didn't show up in the chat. What is going on? What up, Gary Spikes? Gary Spikes deserves one of these because he's just a top-notch moderator all over YouTube, and I'm surprised he didn't have one. So we're handing him a shield. And Elder Medicine Bear Claw. Yes, we gave you a little shout out yesterday. Elder Medicine Bear Claw, to the office, please. Yeah, we're here to give you 5 stars. Yes. Yeah, because you got 5 on it. She threw down 5 on the you know what. And Blazer also came through twice yesterday, and that's probably, who knows, maybe some of these glitches were happening yesterday, but one of the times I wasn't able to pull up the moderator to see y'all. And I see Lori Ladd up in here as well. Cheers, Lori. Yeah, what is going on with YouTube? Yeah, Blazer came in through hot yesterday also twice. We had 2 speed chases live we were able to catch. And, Blazer's been coming through. And when he comes through, he makes it rain up in the chat, up in the club. And again, with the 11-11s, 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 11-11. Yeah, Blazer. That's what he does. And another, 5-star moderator. Yeah, appreciate you all. And everyone should be a moderator in here. But some of you, probably aren't too active. I remember, I think it was Roger didn't want the duty at first. And was it you, Roger? Is Roger here? Is the bar and grill open in the chat? I don't know. But yeah, a lot of water around this area here, which is red flags, because I just thought of another case. Maybe someone can think about it. And we're talking about the 411 phenomenon. I know some of you don't like it. And remind me to open this coin. My brother's been, on the different metals, especially the silver lately, but he's been collecting different coins, different items and stuff. And we shared a few. We got a new one here. We'll get a closer look. I'm just kind of reminding myself. I got a few things. I did write a few notes as well. We got our giant red pencil here just in case. And yeah, I'm kind of getting into these things before I forget. But yeah, let's the 411 phenomenon came up, and in the aspect, because I look at the 411 phenomenon as different things. Some of you have agreed with me out there. I think it's I mean, at the end you could look at it as the, for the bad cases, the people that are never found, or maybe found deceased, or found alive but with trauma. There are happy cases, and we like those as well. But yeah, there's darn, losing it again. There's a thing where and it's the different spokes of the phenomenon. So I think there's different things that are causing these things. It could be aliens, it could be Bigfoot, or it is aliens, it is Bigfoot, it is UFOs, UAPs, it is dog ban, it is the predator. It is all these cryptid and creatures and entities and spirits that people are talking about, and you could all separate all those things at the end. Some of us would just call it the devil. Yes, I agree with that as well. The devil has his minions though, and so yeah, we got to be aware of that. There's a lot of you in the chat especially are very in tune with the other side, the spirit world. And I do believe there is that reality in this realm. And so yeah, I look at life like that. And so there's the whole, when you're looking at it through the 411 missing 411 phenomenon, there's the aspect of the sobering coincidence, which is cases of people who are found in bodies of water, usually after a night of out at the bars, or you know there's different cases, and mostly men, but there is cases with women, and there's just anomalies with those cases, either being found where they had searched already, or maybe they're found way later but they look like they were just placed in there. And there's people that have debunked cases also. There's the sleuths out there and YouTubers and stuff. So it's very important. And of course, yeah, case by case also. But we like to connect different things also between certain cases if there's a connection to be made, like the whole red, wearing bright colors, and the red, people wearing red lately, that we had pulled up certain cases that people had taken pictures of themselves the day they went missing, and they happened to be wearing red, right? And if you're not up on game with what we're talking about here, which I believe most of you are, you could go to Can Missing, check out the Missing 411 phenomenon there. They post videos almost daily, and I like to, I check them all out. And I don't, here's my DP, David Politis disclaimer. I respect his work. I'm intrigued by the phenomenon. I do believe something is going on, but yeah, I've learned to take them case by case, and just not to, I break them down in my own way, which everyone should. You should take it with the grain of salt, right, and do your own breakdown. See if you could find out more information on it. And maybe there's experiences you've had or stories you've heard that may add to that particular case or whatever. And I love doing that, and I want to get better and bring up cases. And that's why we're touching on this, because he was found after the Super Bowl and after a barbecue, and he's found in this creek. And so I'm like, well, could it be one of these cases? I don't know. And there's a message from Ben. I want to find it first. I need to go undercover at night. What up, Ben? And thank you for checking out the stream last time. I don't know if you're getting notified, but we're live now, bro. So heads up. And you might hear some background action. We got some customers in here, which is good. Come on in. Come on shopping with us. But let's check out this newsreel just to see if there's any more details. And I'll be keeping an eye out on this case to see if there's anything else that pops up that may point towards one of those types of 411 cases. So just a heads up, we'll see if this falls into Dave's radar. Again, I'm thinking barbecue, food, drinks. I don't know if he actually drank. There's no evidence on him being intoxicated, nothing like that. Very, very little information. So, we can't go on anything like that. Let's see. Still can't comment. It vanishes, says Blazer. Very weird, man. Very weird. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, brother. Hopefully you'll still check out the stream here. But yeah, let's check this out, see if we get any more details.
In today's Unsolved Mystery, a woman is looking for answers about the death of her brother, Tommy Simpkins, who grew up in Reading. He was found dead behind Levi's Stadium a week after he went missing on Super Bowl Sunday. I contacted the sister of 44-year-old Tommy Simpkins. She said he was last seen leaving a barbecue in San Jose on February 8th. The Super Bowl was being played on that day at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. His sister told me he was found dead in a creek behind Levi Stadium 1 week later. His wallet and phone were missing. Simpkins' sister, Brandy Stroud, told me that she tracked down where her brother's body was found and confirmed that he was dead, not through law enforcement, but through social media. She and her family had posted missing person flyers around the Bay Area, and they made several social media posts asking for help finding him. And one woman in the Bay Area came through with the critical information Stroud had been looking for. You know who discovered his body near Levi Stadium?
No, actually, from all of the posts, from all of the sharing, a woman had got in contact.
Thank you. Muted, bro. Thank you. I got that. So yeah, I was saying, appreciate that, Blazer. So Blazer was just saying that he still can't do certain things on the YouTube that he's usually able to do. So it's weird, and his messages are disappearing sometimes still. So a heads up for anyone out there. And I want to say I appreciate everyone's support. That's why we got to be able to make sure that your thumbs up are sticking, you know. So if you hit the thumbs up, go back and double check, make sure it's still up. Make sure the notification bell is still on, because we know that they unsub people from certain channels, and they do that periodically. So you got to double check and make sure and it's happened to me too. Make sure the notification bell is on. Make sure you hit that ding dong, folks. Yep. Because it helps. And I was also mentioning a few things, but I kind of lost my track there. I was muted, so maybe that was a good thing. And now Gerald says he's still just listening, but now he can't. Well, I was muted there, Gerald. I think that's what happened there. So heads up. So I appreciate people sending in the messages, helping me rock the
With
live
me.
here.
She must have had a police scanner
And we're gonna get back to this story here.
because she sent me the audio of the police scanner going off, talking about how they had just recovered a body from behind the Levi Stadium. And she told me to call the police, the emergency rooms, the coroner's office, and from there, I was able to talk to the coroner and identify my brother by his big Simpkins tattoo on his back.
Because it was a lady on social media that saw your post and connected the dots that body that was.
Wow, yeah, that is, and luckily, if she was using a scanner, and you know, we've brought that up here also with the stringers, the YouTube stringers that go out. Well, the stringers that YouTube, yeah, they go out and stream, and they go to all the police calls. All, you know, those guys usually carry scanners. And there's also I think it's LA Fire Guy on YouTube, possibly. I forget his channel's name, but he's got scanners going in here in LA County, so you could go to their channel and tap into a lot of the calls that are being broadcasted throughout the city. So luckily, seems like that was what happened in this case. So yeah, very weird. I mean, what? So from San Jose, let's see. Taking a look at the map Tina C sent me. I don't think I could see San Jose there anywhere nearby. So it seems like quite a distance, I would say, from San Jose, and then to be found at Levi's Stadium. They mentioned about him possibly getting an Uber, but how far are you going to take an Uber? And again, keeping in mind that just even that stadium, it had a lot of strange energy going on with the ritual happening there. And again, there was a lot of breakdowns of it on YouTube. I don't know if anyone out there seen any of those breakdowns, but there was some really good ones. And maybe you did your own breakdown of the halftime Super Bowl ritual.
Was found near Levi Stadium was your brother. Is that correct?
Instantly. There's a lot of questions that haven't been answered. I haven't been able to get a hold of a detective. I've been searching for a week for my brother. My entire family has. And we can't even begin the healing because we can't get a hold of anybody to tell us what's going on. That I thank everybody for their shares and their support and their love and their prayers. Because without all of this, I don't think we would have found my brother.
Now, since that interview, Brandy has spoken with a detective once, but she doesn't have any more information, and the cause of Simpkins' death is still under investigation. Simpkins had called an Uber on Super Bowl Sunday, but it's not clear how he got from San Jose and the barbecue to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. If you have information, call the Santa Clara Police Department at 408-615-4700. The family has a GoFundMe to arrange for Simpkins to be brought back to Redding to be buried next to his father and brother. If you can help with information or a donation, we have all this information under this story at actionnewsnow.com. In today's
All right. So there's that there. And it reminds me, there's maybe someone in the chat will know, but there's another there's been a couple 411, several missing 411 cases where people are on the phone and they're talking to someone, describing where they're at, and sometimes asking for help or whatever. And then they'll just vanish while they're on the phone there. I don't know anyone familiar with those types of cases. So there's one, and I believe, I forget what state, but they were leaving a stadium as well. I don't know if it was a baseball game or a football game, basketball game. I'm not sure. But it was a young, I want to say it was a young man. And usually I'm pretty good at remembering some of these cases, but this one I don't remember the where or the names or anything. But maybe it'll ring a bell for someone and they could bring it up. But they were leaving the stadium, they were on the phone, and they were on a particular like busy intersection. And I believe, I don't know if the phone call dropped, but I don't know if the guy dropped his phone, if his phone was found there. But then he was missing. And you know, also we got to keep in mind with everything, the files coming out now, we're learning that, you know, a lot of people go missing due to that whole world. And so yeah, is it just people? Is it something stranger? I don't know, but it just reminded me of that case of the stadium and leaving the stadium. And yeah, very, very odd. And we'll see if any of the bigger YouTube channels out there maybe touch on this case. If any more information comes up, maybe that'll determine whether, you know, certain people will pick it up. But anyway, yeah, prayers for that family, condolences. And yeah, what a mystery there. And let's see next. So I was mentioning this coin. This is a pretty cool coin. Bro scored. It's called the Alien Invasion. I like the camera wigged out. I'll flip it this way. There we go. See the few alien beings there. It looks like a ray of light coming down. I believe it's copper. My brother's like, yeah, you can show this one. And he's like, I kind of got this one for you since it's alien. And we've noticed, so he's been checking out these streams where they do, I guess, buying and purchasing, and I don't know if trading and whatnot, but there's been several Bigfoot ones, Bigfoot coins and stuff. And he'll show me them, and they're really cool. I was like, oh man. He's like, yeah, I'd like to get you that. Appreciate that, Roger, giving me a thumbs up over on X. And so he's like, yeah, do a little unraveling of the coin. And we're solo now, so my brother's he's taken off now. He's got to go run errands. And it tells you here diameter 40 millimeter, 99999 copper, weight 1 AVDP ounce. And it also glows in the dark, which is super cool. So I don't know. Let's see. How did he pop it out? He was able to pop it out earlier. I'm not going to ruin it. But yeah, super cool. Copper coin, alien invasion. Thank you, bro. Yeah, so what else we got going on as far as on the news front? So while we're talking about the missing persons cases, if you're following the Can-Am Missing Project, Dave's been touching on a cluster in Marin County, which is actually very interesting. Let's see, from here, it's the other side of the San Francisco Bridge. Okay. So on the other side of the bridge, or if you take the Richmond Bridge, I guess that'll take you over also, right? But Marin County, and so there's water. Appreciate the follow there on X, Jonocide. Much love. I'll give you a follow back, brother. So you got water all around that area, which is something Dave would point out. And he's touching on Marin County, and then there's several areas. Mount Tam, we've been bringing up Mount Tamalpais, and he's touched on Point Reyes National Park, and we were touching on some cases there. Also, we brought up one that he didn't bring up because I don't know, maybe it wasn't a 411 case. But I thought it was weird. It was a hiker, then found it. It's like, what happened? And there hasn't been any details. I'll have to look up that case again to see if there's anything else online that we could find, maybe pointing towards it being maybe something more mysterious or nefarious. And so it's interesting. So right on the other side at Mount Tam, and I was mentioning a while back that I had been through that area. Yep, Roger's having trouble posting also. Bummer. Yeah, they really want people to unsubscribe over here, folks. So just hang tight and maybe just have a listen. And I know it's fun to interact and watch it live and be able to, because that's why we do it live, to be able to interact with the community here. Come on, YouTube. Unblock me. Yeah, that's weird, Roger, because I see some of your comments, but I guess not all of them are showing up. And I did notice that the chat was freezing earlier. Like it was like no one was popping up here. So anyway, Mount Tam, yes, we've been through there before. I shared a couple of things. And I was like, you know what? Let me look up and see if we could find some of those videos. And sure enough, they popped up. And this one is just a 1.5-minute video. And I still don't know how to make video. I'm still barely learning how to make videos. But this is 8 years ago. And who knows why I didn't take, I should have taken more footage. But I guess I wasn't geared up for all that at the time. But you could see I took a picture of the sign there. And maybe we could let's have a look at the video. I should have taken a lot more video. There was a couple of points where I did take a video and pictures of some things that were very interesting, some structured looking stuff. And let's check this out. So this is a throwback. So just a heads up for those that have followed Dave. And let's get a little volume. What am I saying?
On Tamalpais, where they have had a couple of 401 missing person cases, which were kind of weird. And so, yeah, I thought I'd check it out and see if we could find anything.
So even back then, there was Dave had, I guess, already had mentioned about some, cases, because that's how it got onto my radar. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is that area where there's some of these cases. And on this trip also, I think we drove through Point Reyes, which is another area, this cluster zone that's being talked about over on Can-Am.
So I'm just doing this quick upload just to give you guys an idea of where I'm at and what it looks like right now. And watch out for these kitties.
Kitty.
Here also. Yeah, it's pretty foggy, you guys. The sun is trying to peek through it.
So really foggy from up above there. And this particular area, you had the trails drop down into Tamalpais. And as you can see, very foggy up top. But once you were down below, in certain areas, it was really sunny. So yeah, so it had this eerie feeling, and we were running into the fog here and there throughout our little trip into those areas. Point Reyes also. Yeah, so definitely I got squatchy vibes, but I was like, man, we're so close to San Francisco, but yet this area very green. You could see obviously mountain lions roam around there, but we seen earlier, what was it, last month or maybe a couple weeks ago, the mountain lions roaming through the middle of San Francisco. So they come into the city also, but yeah, a lot of nature right outside the big city.
As you can see here, it is pretty socked in, so let's see how far we can get.
A lot of trees.
This looks like a little
pretty dense
valley down there, but I think the actual mountain is up above, and you can't see the top of the fog. But yeah, let's get in there. And
I know you can barely hear me. Anyway, and there was another video, and earlier it had popped up right next to it, but I don't see it. Give me 1 second. I want to see if it'll pop up on the side here. Probably not. But there's another video to it, and maybe I'll show it on a later stream. But it was this gnarly structure that I had found. It was a huge X. And I had the queen pull over. I was like, this looks like something. There's a lot of spots I wanted to pull over and check out. Massive X got my attention, and it was not easy to get to. We pulled off to the side of the road. The queen's probably wondering, I lost my mind. And so I took video of this little area, and it was interesting because it was a perfect lookout. You could see the road and the rest of, I guess, the nature area of this particular spot. And I want to say it probably was part of Mount Tam still. Or if not, it was on our way out of there. And then so when I got to this area, there was a ton of, it was just like almost looked like a mess. And some of it, maybe it was a more elaborate structure at one point, but you could tell someone had put this together. I don't think it all just fell there naturally. And so I documented that. And when I shared that, come on, camera, activate. Thank you. Gonzo from Breaking Bigfoot did a little breakdown, and he noticed a couple of things he timestamped, and I don't know, he did his thing to it, whatever he does. I don't know if he ran some filters or what, but and he sent it back to me, and it did look like a couple of what one would imagine Bigfoots look like. And I thought it was pretty damn good. But yeah, we would have to do more of a breakdown of that, bring those videos up, and we'll do that in the future. But anyway, so Mount Tam, a lot of weird stuff happening there. Now a cluster in the 411 phenomenon. So yeah, definitely felt vibes there. Very beautiful, but something strange about it also. And I think he also mentioned, what was it? There's something up on that mountain. I don't know if there's some sort of facility or something. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. So what do we got going on next? I think we're talking. So since we're talking about comments, YouTube is always changing stuff. They've been playing with the AI thing. They have brought it back now. We've been doing our claymation Bigfoot episodes. Hopefully you're liking those. I know Mad Pax does. And we are on duty right now, folks. So it looks like I might have some customers pulling up. Let's go ahead and run this. Let's see. We're going to pull up some video here. Give me 1 second. Y'all keep an eye out for any Sasquatches while I handle this business right quick. Woo! That was a good sale. Spot any squatches out there, anyone? All right. Venom D. Anybody know? He's like, tap in with me. He's like, you streaming? He's like, what you got slapping? I'm like, bro, we're on some paranormal, Bigfoot, you know. He's like, bro, tap in with. So he left his information. It's in a nice, beautiful Mercedes Benz. Bro was blinging. So we got his information, and we'll be linking up. I guess he got his music going on too. I don't know what else, but you know, certain people, certain energies, and I could tell this dude's got something happening. So, and we appreciate the business, brother. Thank you. That way he spent Nice dollar here. All right. So yeah, let us know if you spotted any squatches. Look at the Smith River's looking pretty swole. Nice and swollen there. Whoa. Minxie, thank goodness you could chat in here. We're having trouble in the chats. And it could be also that YouTube may be changing some things, folks. We're talking about them bringing the AI back and forth. And you got to queue up the yeah. There is a new feature. I don't know if it's going to stick or not. And I only seen that one person. Yes, only one person was able to do it so far. This is the first time I've ever seen it. So this morning, this AM, a lot happening this AM. I got a message from Shelly, who's probably in the chat. There's Shelly. And yes, Shelly, question everything. Great comment there. Shelly dropped me a message today, and I was responding back to her message, but I noticed it gave me the option to leave a voice message. Yes.
Hey, Shelly.
I was like, what? And so I left her a voice message, and she sent the message back and was like, whoa, that's now too. And I left her another voice message back. Now Blazer left me a message right after that, and it didn't give me the option to do that. So maybe that's what's happening with all the messages and stuff. Maybe YouTube hopefully is fixing some things and upgrading some things. We're still waiting on the DMs back on YouTube. I heard a while back that they were going to bring that back as well. No cigar. And a lot of times only certain regions, certain areas, certain people will get picked for their YouTube experiments. And you know, you could check your channel sometimes. Yo, compa. No, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, have a blessed day, man. All right. Yeah, brother. Offering some strawberries there. I usually prefer them organic. Yeah, so maybe, you know, they're fixing things here. I don't know. All right, let's get into some of these Bigfoot reports. Let's head on over to the Bigfoot mapping project. And so the waters have gotten murky in the stream, folks, with all the chat issues happening and people not be able to comment and show love has really changed this stream up today. So anyway, and I appreciate y'all for hanging in there. We are live and on duty. Sky's the limit, Smoke Shop, 3925 East Olympic Boulevard. Yeah, tap in with us, folks. Yeah, I heard we're having a conversation today, and sometimes we don't show it. You know, we don't show you the tough side to the grind. You know, it's not easy. It hasn't been easy, and yeah, financially, these days have been rough for a lot of businesses. So we're hanging in there. We appreciate your support. Yeah, all of your support out there has been helping folks. So thank you, Glenn. Thank you again. Thank you, Glenn. Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Yeah, no, your support is greatly appreciated. So here, Bigfoot mapping project today. We got several new green dots here. And that's always exciting because I'm like, all right, we're going to stream and do what we do what we've been doing. And until we start getting people up in here. Just kidding. Anyway, the last stream, it's still green here. They're turned blue. Out of the Sierra Nevadas, we actually got notified of that during a live stream. And so that was really cool. But it looks like several other dots up here. I think, did we touch on this? I think we may have touched on this. No, we haven't. So it looks like either Oregon or Washington there, right along the border. I think it's out of Longview. And that probably rings some bells for people out there. Is that where they had was the premiere to American Sasquatch? I don't know why Longview's coming. I know I've been hearing it lately. Anyway, it looks like right above that, right across the border, very near that last report that you could see still blue there. Yeah, we were up in Canada not too long ago. Just the other day reading that blue report. Looks like another one has popped up there. And of course, over on the East Coast, yeah, Ohio, always on the map. Yeah, something about Ohio, man. I can't wait to check it out one day. Seems like Bigfoot's just kick it there. And so let's get into it. Let's get into this report here, 12/29/25. So not too long ago, 311, not 310, not 309, not 312, 311s. There's your 1111s. Again, height 8-footer, female. Whoa. Must have seen something there. And it did vocalize. So there's that. I watched, here we go. I watched the orb lights. Yep. And that's cool that they're putting all of that here. So it doesn't seem like they're editing reports over on the Bigfoot mapping project. I watched the orb lights as they moved in the canyon outside my bedroom window. They manifested into Sasquatch. Wow. So she actually seen it happen. You know, a lot of us have had the hunch. A lot of us have, you know, I've talked extensively of orbs here on the channel and orbs in squatchy areas. Yes, it is a thing. Had orbs on our property up in Northern California. And for those that, you know, don't know. But yeah, so I've experienced the orb phenomenon for sure. And yeah, a lot of people tying it to Bigfoot. And this lady says that it manifested into Sasquatch. A female on all 4 legs, which is 4 legs. Huh. I don't know if Bigfoots have 4 legs, but yeah. Then one male walked up behind her. They were mating. Oh, this sounds like this could be a heads up. This could be a bogus report. We have gotten these before, but we'll take this serious. We'll continue reading. But this is a X-rated version. This is an adult stream here, so heads up, folks. And if I do notice anything that we shouldn't say, I'll catch myself. It says they were mating. They were more near the 2 I captured with my iPhone. The next night, I saw several others gathered around a portal. It looked like a family with several smaller ones. My dog ran towards them. They came back looking scared to death. I have videos of the portals, orbs, and the bodies over a week span of time. Wow. Hot, dark, hairy is the description of the color there. Well, how could we see these videos? I wonder who submitted this. Hopefully, if someone knows who submitted this and has a link to those videos or to this person, hey, let us know. But this area, you know, is just rich with Bigfoot history, activity. Look at all those Sasquatches all over the place. All over. Very, very near the coast too, which is very interesting to look at. Yeah, let's get into these other reports. Let's head on north over to the other side of the border there. And here, let me drop the Squatch a bit over on this side of things, just to give you guys an idea. We were talking about Gifford Pinchot National Forest, and I thought it was on both sides of Oregon and Washington, but we could see here it's on the Washington side of things, very near the border. And PNW Rush had corrected us on that. And yeah, dropping the Squatch there, you see Highway 5, which we have brought up even down here in Southern California. And the town of Longview seems to be the or Kelso. Kelso's pretty close there. And I've heard these areas pop up before in Bigfoot talk. So yeah, very close to town there. You could see big water source there and some greenery areas. So there's, I mean, areas to creep into town and hide. You have cover. And it is Washington, so I would not doubt it one bit. And quite a bit of civilization there. Wow, and this over here, look at that big old thing. All right, so let's hop on over to the Canadian side. Let's see, where you at? Report, there you are. Boom. Shout out to our Canadians. Hopefully you're able to hang out. Date and time of sighting, 11/25. We're throwing it back to 1992, 11 a.m. It was a 6-footer. Did not vocalize. Let's see. All right. Just checking the length of the report there. We could zoom in a little closer. Can we still scroll? Yes, we could. Cool. I was at a scout camp east of Princeton, BC when I was 10 years old. We had a day where we were allowed to do whatever we wanted around the camp. Sounds like my kind of day. I love that. Me and 2 other boys grabbed snowshoes and went hiking away from the camp. We went a long ways down this ravine, probably further than we should have gone, when all of a sudden from behind a bush stood up this 2-legged creature. So maybe female or young male. I didn't see its face that well. It was crouching behind the bush. As we approached, it just stood up and walked away. I saw it clearly from behind for about 10 seconds as it walked up the slope and over the ridge out of view. It wasn't huge, probably about 6 feet tall, but very muscular. Probably a curious, and let's see, juvenile. Yeah, we hear those juveniles are pretty curious. It was a very clear Class A sighting. I can still see it in my head to this day. Wow, that's super cool. Nice report there and no wood knocks, and it was a reddish brown. Awesome. We're getting a lot more of those reddish brown reports. Been reading quite a bit of those. And let's drop the Squatch here. See 2 other Sasquatches kind of far away. So not many reports from this particular area, but it does not mean that they're not around. It's just what's been submitted. And I don't see any towns popping up here. I see Thrisk Lake at the bottom here. It's probably the closest body of water. And actually up here also Kathleen Lake. Looks like some little bodies of water there too. We'd like to take note of that. And all right, there it is. So Canada getting some reports in. We're going to head on over east to Ohio. Let's see what's cracking out there. What's popping with Bigfoot out in Ohio? So there's Dayton. I've heard of that place. Dayton, Ohio. Not too far away from this report here. And again, a big thank you to the Bigfoot Mapping Project for doing what they do. And you know what? That reminds me, Jeremiah Byron, shout out to, we're always giving them shout outs here. We're always bringing up Bigfoot Society And yeah, he was on with BMR yesterday, Bigfoot Michigan Rob on YouTube. And what a great guest to have on. You know, Bigfoot Society takes reports and they do different styles. They do lives over on TikTok, live call-ins. He does pre-recorded reports. He does streaming reports also, where he's on with the person. They got their headphones and you could see the people. Just so many different ways he presents his content, and we appreciate Jeremiah for what he does, and it was super cool to see him on. Hopefully he checks out these shows. And who knows, maybe he might find something interesting here. But and I am a moderator over on his YouTube channel, which is pretty cool, and on TikTok. And no, I'm not over there. People still sending me messages on TikTok. So yeah, shout out Jeremiah, cool show. BMR, salute. Date and time of sighting 5/24/25. So last year, cool, another fresh one. 5:53, not 54, not 52, 7. And so 775, the height. I don't know how he got that. Maybe busted a ruler or pulled out a measuring tape or something. And a heads up, we sometimes do get bogus reports, so we'll have a look here. That orb one, I don't know. Let me know in the chat. You felt that was a bogus one? We want to know your comment on it. Was it real? Why would Bigfoot come over and hump on this side of things? Why can't they do it on the other side of the portal? Why has it got to be here? I get it. Doing it in the woods. It's fun. I know. All right. It says it did vocalize. So we got some vocalizations here. I wonder what it sounded like. I was working my way back to my car from hiking around John Bryant. I heard this super scary growl-like noise. So growl. Yeah, more like it, huh? It sounded pretty close. Panic. I started to jog. I looked up, and about 50 yards, maybe 75, I saw a gigantic silhouette, at least 7'5", maybe closer to 8 feet. That's why we got that 75. It seemed spooked. That's weird. We do hear that in reports, you know, Bigfoot looking spooked. Throw that in the notes. Spooky Bigfoot. And that's funny because you think they'd be the ones spooking us. We spook them too sometimes, I guess. You know, that's what happens. That's weird. Once it realized I was coming towards it, it ran off into the brush, trees. I said brush, trees. I was going to say some other word. Scared the hell out of me. Yikes. Yeah, awesome report there. A black-brown silhouette. Wow, you got a little brown action. So maybe it could have been red too. Reddish, brownish. Usually the silhouettes are black. Black to the point it absorbs light. And welcome to the portal, Shelly. Yes, we got a new member here. All right, we're going to welcome Shelly into the portal. All right, there you are, Shelly. Right on. Cheers to you. Juliana McGill in the house, holding down the farm up in Humboldt. Yeah. Got a Ohio report there, Washington, and one over in BC, British Columbia. All right. So I think that's about it for Bigfoot mapping project, folks. Let's take a trip around the world here. Make sure there isn't any other reports we need to touch on that are green. But if you're interested in any of these reports around the world, as you can see, these yellow, looks like Bigfoot peed all over the planet with these yellow marks. But yeah, if you're ever interested, we could get into some of these yellow reports. And if you got a report that you'd like to have me read or would like to share, let us know. Let's set that up. All right. Hopping on over to the BFRO. Yeah, I had to take a look. So I was like, oh, Longview, Washington. That was the first report we just read. Right. Oh, there goes my eraser. Pew. I had to take a look at the BFRO to see what they had. So that's Clark County, if I'm not mistaken, the area we were reading that report from. I could be wrong. But this is what the BFRO had for the public to read out of Clark County, Washington. So we'll read some titles here. I won't bore you with reading more reports, but from this particular area. But it says May 2018, Class B, campers describe early AM approach near Coldwater Creek Campground outside Yakult. August 2003, Class A, man approached by Sasquatch south of Yakult, Washington. August 1995, Class A, teenager recounts his sighting as a very young boy on his property near Yakult. Yakult. Put that in the notes. And I've heard of stuff happening out there as well. June 1985, or no, June 1989, Class A. So both in June here, about 4 years apart. Family has face-to-face encounter with Sasquatch on their backyard. Wow. 1985, June. Class B, witnesses hear odd, loud vocalizations while in the forest traveling on a logging road. Now we're going to really throw it back. January 83 or 84, Class A, large figure crosses the road in dawn hours near Battleground. Yeah. And here we are over at the Bigfoot mapping project. Bigfoot Society's project, sorry. And I went ahead and pulled up the area there. Let's see. There's Battleground where they just mentioned. There is a couple of reports near there. Where were we? Longview. So according to Bigfoot Society, down here, there's a report. That report off the Bigfoot mapping project was kind of like, it seemed like up here somewhat. Where's Kelso? But anyway, further up the 5 freeway, there is a report up there. So we'll tap this one down here. That seems to be the closest near that report that we had read from Longview. So it says Deer Island, location Deer Island, Oregon. So this is on the Oregon side of things. Let's see. Which again, I don't think border, their Bigfoots are probably going across from Oregon to Washington and up to BC and all over the place. If you ask me, they're not like, oh, that's Washington down there or Oregon down there or California. Let's not go over there because we don't like Californians, especially Southern Californians. Anyway, so witness reports unusual nocturnal animal sounds. Again, some vocalizations resembling infant crying. Wow, we've heard that. Super creepy. Followed by deep growling. Uh-oh. Where are you? Horses on property displayed significant distress, which, I hear just like a dog, a good warning to have. Warning device to have horses. Next morning, 7-8 lambs were missing. Whoa, from a fenced farm area. No signs of predation were found by Fish and Wildlife. No blood, tracks, hair, or fence damage. Ground near residence later revealed a large, deliberate X-shaped marker. Hello. Notes. Constructed from heavy sticks driven into hardened soil. Assessment, unidentified entity present, suspected, no human or known predator activity confirmed. Source, Bigfoot Society, episode 971. Whoa. Now we're up in the Washington side of things, right along the Interstate 5. And we bring that up along with Highway 101. A lot of reports off of 101 as well. And this is GC's truck stop. Shout out GC's. Toledo, Washington. GC's truck stop north of Oregon border on I-5. Witness states that in daylight, he observed a massive brown figure about 8 feet tall lean over a 4-foot fence to grab a goose from a pond before casually walking back into the forest. Now, is that how he yoinked those lambs? They were lambs, right? Truckers report knocks, howls, and multiple creatures in the surrounding woods. Date not specified. Episode 831 over on Bigfoot Society. Whoa. Gnarly, bro. Wow. And we could go on and on. Look at all these reports here. I'm curious to see. And Juliana, just a heads up for anyone just coming in, we've been having trouble with the comments disappearing, people not being able to comment on the YouTube side of things. So just a heads up. And we are streaming on different platforms. Rumble, I know people will sometimes show up there. So a heads up, and you could comment, emojis, the whole nine over there. I know it gets pretty live. I'm not sure about Instagram and the other platforms, but I know Rumble gets pretty fun. So just a heads up if you're having trouble here. And again, if you're just listening, we appreciate your support. Let's see here. So we're over on Bigfoot Encounters website. And we're going to head over to Sightings and head up to Washington here. Let's see. Did I pull it up? Yes, I did. Boom. There's Washington, and we're going to see Clark. We'll just pull up Clark County, see if anything is in there. And I don't see anything, surprisingly. Nothing for Clark. I do see Yakult here. And maybe there is some Clarks, but I'm maybe missing it. I'm scanning through right quick. And that's okay, because we've already read a few, and we know, I mean, that's just a hot spot state. All right. And I'm officially alone here on duty at the shop. Ahí está. Gracias. Estamos vivo. And thank you to Tejuino for purchasing a soda. Yeah. Y'all know Tejuino. We've featured him several times here. He kicks it at the corner, slanging his Mexican drink there. And yes, we support each other. Let's see, Yakult. There's a pretty long one here for Yakult, y'all. So anyone interested in more of these reports, there is one on Bigfoot Encounters, and it's called, oh, here we go. Yakult, Clark County, Washington, the Yakult sighting. So check that out. We won't get into that as we've read several reports already. And yeah, I'm on duty solo right now, folks. So just a heads up. We're going to hop on over, let's see, to the Bigfoot report database. And I did also pull up reports for Clark County here. And this one, my brother'd be interested since he's all into the metals right now. Yeah, and we know that miners, rock hounding people have had reports, sightings and stuff, especially miners. Yeah, classic miner reports like Ape Canyon. You got to bring that up, right? Yeah. Gold prospectors encounter with ape-like creature, 1924, Mount St. Helens. Yep, that's it. Fred Beck and fellow miners encounter blackish brown creature near Mount St. Helens, Washington, and that's under Clark County. Encounter with a Sasquatch by Nick and Brenda G in their backyard. And that's 89. I wonder if that's in the BFRO reports that we were checking out. Brother experienced dead silence and fear near Molten Falls. Bigfoot encounter. That was 2012, Clark County, Washington. Witness observed Sasquatch activity and cloaking phenomenon near cabin. Year unknown, Clark County. Kevin witnesses a brown Bigfoot drinking water at Lewis River near Mount St. Helens. It's another brown one. Witness observed Bigfoot watching a baseball game. Yeah. See, I had to stumble on that one a bit. Yeah, Yakult, Washington. Why not? And is there a Bigfoot baseball team up there? I think I heard someone talking about, a baseball team or something like that. Ian Canoose's orangutan like Bigfoot sighting on February 10th, 1995 in Clark County, Washington. Terrifying encounter with Bigfoot observed by Matt Fisher near Mount St. Helens, Washington. I know P&W Rush, right? That's your neck of the woods as well, if I'm not mistaken. Witness Robert Kreider's. Wow, Robert Kreider? The Robert Kreider? Encounter with a Bigfoot-like scream in Vancouver, Washington. And it has that under Clark County. Maybe, I don't know if all these are, and it goes on and on and on and on. Wow. Quite extensive, of course. Expected for Washington there. Be sure to check out the Bigfoot database for these reports. And again, I geek out on this stuff. The cryptid map. It'd be interesting. Let's just do this on the fly right quick. I've been doing this lately. So I'll pull up Bigfoot reports like we just did. And then I pull up this cryptid, the Project Darkwood cryptid map, just in case. And as we take a look here, I don't see anything really around the area we're just focusing on. But there is this one over here. And it's the Bat Squatch, of course. Yes. Cheers. Has anyone ever drink Bat Squatch beer? I used to see it in NorCal and never had it. But let's have a read here. Yeah, let's check this out. The old Bat Squatch. Yeah, winged humanoid, 1980s, Mount St. Helens, Washington. Unnamed witnesses. This creature was said to have yellow eyes, a dog-like muzzle, blue fur, sharp teeth, bird-like feet, and leathery bat-like wings that span up to 50 feet. Whoa.
Bruh.
Yeah. In addition, the Bat Squatch is said to be 9 feet tall and has the ability to affect car engines. Yeah. Hey, what does he just stand on them? Yeah, very, very much like UFOs come to mind. The Bat Squatch is a flying cryptid that was allegedly seen near Mount St. Helens in the 1980s. It resembles a flying primate similar to the Ahul and the orang bati, not a bati boy, of southern East Asia. And its name is a portmanteau derived from the words bat and Sasquatch. Hence, Bat Squatch. A witness allegedly took several pictures of the creature. Oh, man, I'd love to see those. However, these pictures have not been analyzed and thus cannot prove the creature's existence. But you could have a Bat Squatch at your local brewery. Cheers. Yeah, pretty cool. Threw in a little. There's Gifford Pinch Gifford Pinchot again. Ay, ay, ay. Kitty Cattywhack, how you doing? We're hanging out today, getting into some Bigfoot reports. And yeah, let's see how we're doing with time over here. Boom. Hour and a half, just a little over an hour and a half. All right, let's roll this baby up. Get back to duty here on the shop. As usual, I'm probably missing something. Let's check our notes really quick. Oh, we mentioned Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett appearing on Jessica Jones' chat. So earlier I was mentioning that Prince Arcane, and big up to Prince Arcane for doing Jessica's show today, the Cryptid Huntress over on YouTube. Gonna have to find my eraser. Yeah. Salute to the Prince. It was cool to see him on. Yeah, so Bobby Hemmett had dropped a comment right before the streams, sometime before the stream started. And I seen him and I checked the channel and it was him, the official Bobby Hemmett, had his name in the special font and everything. And so if you get into, and this is for my melanated brothers, you probably know my brother and I really got deep into the melanated occult culture. And you could find some of these guys on YouTube, everything from the Israelites, Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine. I know Barry Littleton brings up who is it? Dr. Sabi. There's a lot of cats that we went in on, and we used to, gather information, absorb the information, do our own research, and do our own self-discovery of things. And yeah, because a lot of it gets gnarly in that arena, just like the Bigfoot arena, just like the UFO arena, just like all these other things, because you're dealing with humans, right? And so yeah, even like race becomes an issue. Certain some people get turned off and all that. But it was a surprise to see him up in the chat. I was like, whoa. So maybe him and Prince Arcane know each other. But yeah, no, for many years we've followed Bobby Hemmett's work. And then I mentioned Puerto Rico earlier, the Super Bowl ritual, Puerto Rico having a lot of Santeria and stuff like that. A lot of parts of Latin America have this stuff. And so we are familiar with it. And with that, we'll bring up the mighty Lord himself too, because that's what I'm focused on, and all this other dark stuff and occult is very interesting. But for me, Jah the Almighty is first, and everything else, after. But yeah. Especially when we're diving into these topics and different subjects, you got to protect yourself, folks. Make sure you protect yourself. And when I'm showing videos and talking about certain things, make sure you have that armor on and learn how to filter things. I'm learning how to filter out a lot of things and practicing that stuff and applying it into my life. And yeah, man, so it gets interesting, very interesting. And a lot of times I'll bring this up also when we're looking at Bigfoot. I also look at it as a scientific thing, how the apers, and hopefully you don't get offended by that, but how they look at it. So yeah, a scientific view, and then we look at it also from the Wu-Tang side of things, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so let's see here. Sky's the Limit Smoke Shop. We're open till 7 p.m. today, folks. Come tap in. 3925 East Olympic Boulevard. We're on Instagram as well. If you'd like to DM us there, get at us. You could reach me there as well. My brother will relay messages from there. Get yourself a slap. Yeah, we got stickers available, BD stickers, Bigfoot Dwarf stickers, and some other merch as well. There's hoodies and t-shirts and all available on the channel here, or you could go to my my spread shop. Yes, we'll give out the number to the hotline, which I never pick up. You never know. I might answer. You never know. Pilled finally getting a little feedback over there. People starting to take the red pill over there. I appreciate that. And we do post everything. This will be posted over there later. And maybe I'll start sharing other stuff over there. Maybe that'll help engage with folks. Twitch. I don't know who else is on the Twitch, but I hear it gets live and weird over on Twitch. Rumble, get at us. If anything happens here on YouTube, Rumble will probably be our default backup platform, because we ain't doing the tiki-talkie anymore. Cheeky chalky. Discord, Blazer, I'm figure out you shared your Discord with me. I had no idea you were on there. If you're anybody else on Discord, we could chop it up there, do some Discording after this. I do stay active there with posting other people's content sometimes, mainly some of these lives and any videos coming from this channel as well. Let me see what's up in the chat's all frozen. Everyone probably left. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining and hanging out today. That's BD's Instagram, which is pretty dead, but I have been sharing these live links over on the story, on my story over there. Boom. Emails, I have not checked either, but I will check them at some point, and hopefully we're getting some feedback there. Yeah, I was having trouble. It's weird. I had it linked to Yahoo, and I have a couple other emails there for other things, and all those other emails are popping up, but for some reason, this one always tends to disappear, and I got to like dig for it. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I will be checking that soon. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribed here, because YouTube is being very weird today. Come on, YouTube. And let's head on out of here. Yeah, we'll be on standby for any speed chases or any other breaking Bigfoot news. Yeah, we out, folks. Y'all stay safe, and one love. Let's see here. Boom.